miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever. Though you can't deny, hold it all inside. No, you can trust me, just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I'll be around, yeah. You're not scared of love, just scared of love. Alright, alright, enough. Just tell me if you want my love or not, or not. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, yeah. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever. Though you can't deny, hold it all inside. No, you can trust me, just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I don't wanna be that one. No, still a million miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. You go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever. Though you can't deny, hold it all inside. No, you can trust me, just close your eyes, knowing that I'm
Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine. But let me find out, you've been going around throwing shots, running plots. Come on, man, tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see. But now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business, do what you think you need to do to get your revenge. But you won't break me, God as my witness. Past the point of no return, I'm on a mission. Tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my
she's putting all of her cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that she'll be able to win this one. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she just gotta stop all the faking, and she'll be there. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Somebody say, don't be afraid of loving yourself, 'cause that is all you got in the end. You got in the end. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that'll make her feel better? Make her feel better. And that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Yeah, that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own.
Yeah. I want a house in the hills I pay big bills for. I ain't got in pocket. I wanna empty out my wallet. I wanna stop motion, stand still. Wallace and Gromit. I wanna talk more endlessly. I wanna neurotically vomit. I want more dollars from my mama. I want a palace and Prada. I want a Gucci bag where I can store my sorrows and hardships. I wanna gold plate my finance. I want endless tomorrows. I want a lot more than I got right now. But that's the problem. You could give me every little thing I'd ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all. Yeah, you can give me every little thing I ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
Second thought, I want $1 for everyone, not just my mama. I wanna hit the ball out on random pedestrians. I want my questions to be answered to my brain bored and questionless. I want more self-assurance. I don't ever want to second guess. I want someone to shut the fuck up. Less he trying to tell me yes again. I want so many best friends that I can't tell what friendship is. I want the diamonds, gold, and glitter. I want fast cars I'll never whip. I want it all till I'm empty in my castle of everything.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
I want a pussy that out that pay big bills and cheap thrills. Wanna mob out with my homies like Timmy, Tommy, and Dill. I'm not trying to be famous, okay, maybe a lil. Since I'm a rapper, I should buy me some grills and gold frills that I can sleep on while I contemplate pills and peep on, hold still. Might sedate you, just a fire at will. I got an appetite for hardship, big fish meets krill. Don't sleep, don't spill, I ain't got my fill. I want the beauty queen to make me show my pearly whites. The type of movie scene that make you count your blessings twice. It's not the only thing that's on my list, I checked it twice and sent it off to Santa's elves like I've been playing nice.
I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want. But it might be a little more than I give you.
You broke my heart a million times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, it's such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out,
Good morning, y'all.
to work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah.
Good morning. Good
To work
morning.
things out, to work things
Let's get ready.
out.
Lakeisha.
Oh, yeah. To work things
You
out.
amazing, amazing, amazing woman. You super sexy
Can we
lady.
be honest?
Lakeisha.
You're my comfort zone.
Good morning, babe.
Whatever I say,
Mr. Awesome.
don't let me go.
Mr. Amazing.
I know you're
Mr. Awesome is in the house. He's at the park
And I am
getting it in.
cold.
That's right, bro.
I get so
RCC, my
sad
brother. What up,
the
man?
thought of losing you.
What up, RCC? Hey, Miss Drea.
I'm losing you.
How are you, Miss Drea? Miss Drea, what you doing for lunch today?
I can't bear the thought
What you doing for
of
lunch
losing
today,
you.
Miss Drea? I know you're gonna be hungry.
I'm losing you.
We getting ready to read, everybody. What up, Eric? Good to see you. Hi, Miss Carrington. How are you, Miss Carrington? Good morning. Getting ready to read. Hi, Sherry. Good afternoon, Sherry. It's noon where you are, huh? It's 9 o'clock in LA. Jamal, what up, bro? You caught it live. Oh. Hang out with us, Jamal. Throw a earpod in your ear, man. Listen to us read. We're going to jump into it quick today, you guys. We got 25 pages to read today. 25 of these big pages, so we're going to jump right into it. A little long monologue. BK from the Rockies, what's good? What's good, BK? I wonder what BK stands for. You know, first thing comes to mind is Brooklyn. But I know that's what it stands for. What up, BK? What does BK stand for? What up, Alvin? Alvin's in the house, bro. Let's make it happen, everybody. Oh, we got to turn off the contest. Don't trip, everybody. Hold on. Hold on. Let me turn on the contest. Give me a second. Give me a second. Giveaways. Custom. Start the giveaway. All right. I just started it, everybody. I just started the contest. Let me minimize this. Minimize this screen. Bring this one up. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. All right, everybody. Let's make sure it's working. I can't verify that it's working or not. Everybody, you guys please do me a favor and go type salute in the chat. so I can make sure that the contest is working, I'd like to give away some gift cards today. I'd like to give away some gift cards. I want to make sure it's working. I can't verify that it's working. I don't think it was working earlier. This thing is fickle. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I don't see that it's working. It's not loading up, everybody. You guys might not be able to work today, y'all. I can't verify. It was acting up. It didn't, because it wasn't during our workout this morning. It wasn't showing the timers like it was supposed to. And now I just started see, I'm gonna have to hit support again. Say, hey man, y'all stuff not working. I'm paying y'all. I paid you for the whole year. I should have did monthly. Look like we might not have a contest today, you guys. I'm gonna close entries. Then I'm gonna cancel. And then let me run over here. Let me make sure that it's doing. Yeah, see, it knew that we did the workout. The system is monitoring my account. It's monitoring my account. Let me look at my analytics. Let me look at my recent events. Let's do that. Yep. Well, I don't know. Recent event says 2 days ago, RCC gave me a $10 super chat. Rico 1911 subscribed, but I haven't seen anything in 2 days. But I think it's supposed to be doing what it's doing. Look, I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna fire it up again. And if it don't work, I'm gonna hit support and tell them to come fix my shit. Start the giveaway. It should be working, but I can't verify it's working or not. Listen, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are currently reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We are currently reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Hold on one second. Window, notes. Take me to my notes window. Take me to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Blow this up. Drag it over here. Come back. All right, here we go. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What the rich teach their kids about money. We are currently reading What the Rich Teach Their Kids About Money. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. My name is Mr. Shannon. You know, and this right here is another chapter of Rich People Read. It is a live book club. We are a live book club where at my channel, we talk about two things, two ships. We talk about the two ships, entrepreneurship, relationships. I am a self-proclaimed expert in entrepreneurship and relationship. I've been involved in both of them for going on 30 years. I'm 49 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of know what I'm talking about. Not what they call a spring chicken. I've been around the sun a few times. Been a lot of places, seen a lot of things. So I like to give people the game that I know. And one thing that I know that we need to do is read more. Everybody that I know that's wealthy, that has a lot of money, all my rich friends, they have libraries in their homes. My library is around the corner. And this is a book that we're adding to that library, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a book I've been wanting to read since 2001. I believe it was released in 1997, the original version. I was introduced to it by my previous father-in-law and pastor, who was the bishop of the church I attended. And he had this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, sitting on his desk in the office. And I never got a chance to read it until now. I'm reading it along with you guys for the first time in my life. It's a very good book. We've already knocked out chapter 1. We read it on Monday. We read the introduction last Friday. Chapter 1 was on Monday. Today, we're going to knock out chapter 2, which is Why Teach Financial Literacy. This is a book club where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. And I'm so glad that you guys are here with me today. We have 25 pages to read in chapter 2, and we're going to jump right into it. I want everybody who owns the book to turn to it. Take out your bookmarks, grab your pens, highlighters, however you do it, and get ready to highlight the parts that's important to you. If you have the digital version, go ahead and fire it up on your Kindle or your iPad or your smartphone so we can read along. And if you don't have the book, I want you to grab a copy. This book it's a little expensive. It's $7.18. This is going to set you back $7.18 plus tax. So you might be looking at about $7.80 or so. You could be looking at $7.90. Let's say let's round it up to $8. This book is going to set you back $8. If you have Amazon Prime, and shipping is free. I need you to order the book. I want you to have the physical copy. I don't want you to just have ebooks only. I want you to have the physical copy so you can put this in the library of your estate or mansion that you will be soon owning in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have it with you now, don't worry about it. I'm going to read it to you word for word. And I want you to listen to me. Please turn up your volumes. If you're working out like my man, Mr. Awesome in the park right now, he has his earbuds on. He could be listening to some music while he's doing his workout. He could be rocking out to some Drake. Or he could be listening to your boy Shannon. I want you guys, if you're at work, put an earbud in. I'm going to read. Now, remember, reading a book does not require you to actually read it yourself. That's the whole purpose of an audiobook. An audiobook allows you to read a book without actually reading a book. You get it? You don't have to actually read it letter for letter yourself. Hold on one second. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure I was getting this correct. You don't have to actually read it word for word yourself. You could listen to somebody else read it. As long as you listen to everything they say, you've read that book. So, everybody, tap in. Hi, Kai. What up, bro? About to get it on. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's what we're knocking out today. Chapter 2. LaRonda, good morning. Eric says, what happened to me? Yesterday, I had a lot of stuff. Starter went out on my Porsche, and I had to take care of that. And that took me it took me a lot longer than I needed to. Plus, I had a new Peloton bike delivered yesterday, setting that. It was just a lot going on for me yesterday, man. And by the time King Talk came on, Eric, I couldn't make it. And I don't want to interrupt the broadcast. I didn't want to interrupt the broadcast in the middle of the broadcast and come in and say, hey, what's up? Okay, what's the question? I don't want to do that. I want it to be quality broadcast. Lapeef does quality work over there. That team over there, they do quality shows. And who am I to jump in the middle of a broadcast saying, hey, guys, I'm here? That would be extremely selfish of me. I don't want to do that. So shout out to Lapeef. I'll be back next week, though, if JR has me. I'm not a permanent member of the Lapeef network. He just invites me every week. I've been doing King Talk every week since it started. I'm one of the OGs. Episode 1 of King Talk, you'll see me, and I've been there ever since. So I want you guys to make sure that you guys subscribe to the Lapeef network over on YouTube. Just type in Lapeef, Lapeef, and then you'll see me at King Talk. But that's not just the only great show. They got a lot of good shows. Broken Dusty on Tuesday nights. They have Let's Talk on Thursdays. They got some really good stuff over there. So make sure you guys tap in with the Lapeef network, and then you'll see me over there on Tuesday nights with the King Talk. Exactly. No, and I'm sorry, Broken Dusty is on Wednesday nights tonight, actually. I believe it's tonight. So yeah. All right, guys, let's get it on. Let's get it on. All right, we're going to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Chapter 2. It's the second lesson. It's the second lesson that his rich dad taught him. Why teach financial literacy? Please, I just saw somebody give me a thumbs up. See, on my software that I use to stream to YouTube, whenever you guys give a thumbs up, it gives this like flashing thumbs up over here. And I just saw somebody, whoever that was that hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thumbs up are really important. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hitting that thumbs up on the show. Let's get ready to read. The lighting is good, and let's go. Lesson 2, why teach financial literacy? It's not how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. In 1990, Mike took over his father's empire and is, in fact, doing a better job than his dad did. We see each one once or twice a year on the golf course. He and his wife are wealthier than you could imagine. Rich Dad's empire is in his great hands. And Mike, remember, Mike is his young friend from chapter 1. For everybody that's don't like, who is Mike? Mike is the friend of him of Robert's when they started their business together in Hawaii in 1956. And that's his young friend. So that's who he's talking about right now. He and his wife, Mike and his wife, are wealthier than you can imagine now. This is around 1990. Rich Dad's empire is in great hands, and Mike is now grooming his son to take his place, and his dad, as his dad had groomed him. In 1994, I retired at the age of 47, and my wife, Kim, was 37. Retirement does not mean not working. For us, it means that bearing unforeseen cataclysmic changes, we can work or not work, and our wealth grows automatically. Staying ahead of inflation. Our assets are large enough to grow by themselves. It's like planting a tree. You water it for years, and then one day it doesn't need you anymore. Its roots are planted deep enough that the tree provides shade for your enjoyment. Mike chooses to run the empire, and I choose to retire. Or I chose, right? Mike chose to run the empire, and I chose to retire. Whenever I speak to groups of people, they often ask what I would recommend that they do. How do I get started? Is there a book you would recommend? What should I do to prepare my children? What is your secret to success? How do I make millions? Whenever I hear one of those questions, I'm reminded of the following story: the richest businessmen. In 1923, a group of the greatest leaders of richest businessmen held a meeting at the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. Among them were Charles Schwab, head of the largest independent steel company; Samuel Insull, president of the world's largest utility; Howard Hobson, head of the largest gas company; and Ivar Kruger, president of International Match Company, one of the world's largest companies. At that time, Leon Fraser, president of the Bank of International Settlements; Richard Whitney, president of the New York Stock Exchange; Arthur Cotton and Jesse Livermore, two of the biggest stock speculators; and Albert Fall, a member of President Harding's cabinet. 25 years later, 9 of these titans ended their lives as follows. Schwab, he died penniless after living for 5 years on borrowed money. Insull died broke in a foreign land. And Kruger and Cotton also died broke. Hobson, he went insane. Whitney and Albert Fall were released from prison, and Fraser and Livermore, they both committed suicide. Now remember, 25 years earlier in 1923, these guys went on a business meeting at the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. 25 years later, that's what happened to them. I doubt if anyone can say what really happened to those men. If you look at the date, 1923, it was just before the 1929 market crash in the Great Depression, which I suspect had a great impact on these men and their lives. The point is this, my friends. Today, we live in times of greater and faster change than these men did. I suspect there will be many booms and busts in the coming years that will parallel the ups and downs these men faced. I am concerned that too many people are focused on money and not on their greatest wealth, their education. Where did I go? Their education. If people are prepared to be flexible, keep an open mind and learn, they will grow richer and richer despite tough changes. If they think money will solve problems, they will have a rough ride. Intelligence, intelligence, where were we at? Intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. Most people fail to realize that in life, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. We've all heard stories of lottery winners who are poor, then suddenly rich, and then pour again, right? They win millions of dollars, yet are soon back where they started. Or we hear stories of professional athletes, NBA, NFL, baseball players, who at the age of 24 are earning millions of dollars, but are sleeping under a bridge 10 years later. I remember a story of a young basketball player who a year ago had millions. Today, at just 29 years old, he claims his friend's attorney and his accountant took his money, and he was forced to work at a car wash for minimum wage. Damn. He was fired from the car wash because he refused to take off his championship ring as he was wiping off the cars. His story made national news and is appealing he is appealing his termination at the car wash, claiming hardship and discrimination. He claims that the ring is all he has left, and if it was stripped away, he'll crumble. I know so many people who became instant millionaires, and while I am glad some people have become richer and richer, I caution them that in the long run, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep and how many generations you keep it. What he means is how many generations behind you, your children, your grandchildren, your children's children's children, right? That's important, you guys. It's not all about you. Sidebar. All right, let's continue. So when people ask, where do I get started? Or tell me how to get rich quick, they often are greatly disappointed with my answer. I simply say to them what my rich dad said to me when I was a little kid. If you want to be rich, you need to be financially literate. The idea was drummed into my head every time we were together. As I said, my educated dad stressed the importance of reading books, while my rich dad stressed the need to master financial literacy. If you're going to build the Empire State Building, the first thing you need to do is dig a deep hole and pour a strong foundation. If you're going to build a home in the suburbs, all you need to do is pour 6-inch slab of concrete. Most people in their drive to get rich are trying to build an Empire State Building on a 6-inch slab of concrete. That ain't gonna work. Our school system, created in the agrarian age, right, back when we were fucking farmers, still believes in homes with no foundation. Dirt floors are still the rage. So kids, they graduate from school with virtually no financial foundation. One day, sleepless and deep in debt in suburbia, living in the American dream, they decide that the answer to their financial problems is to find a way to get rich quick. Sidebar. How many of you guys know today, everybody rushing out to get rich quick? Sidebar. How many of you guys know somebody on Instagram flashing money, telling you all you need to do is sign up and get on the conference call? And then and then they flash you some fake Photoshop bank account, making it seem like they got all this money flowing in. $20 every 5 minutes for 3 hours. How many of you guys know somebody that's telling you all you got to do is sign up and then you'll get your products, but all you need to do is send in $150 to get started. And then once you get started, all you got to do is find 5 people who finds 5 people who finds 5 more people. Come on, you guys. I've always shied away from that bullshit. I've watched too many of my friends fall from that. While they all watch me do it the hard way, and now they're looking at me saying, damn, Shan, I should have just did what you did. That's what they're saying in their head because they're never going to really admit it. They just look how I'm living. They look at the shit that I do and the people that I'm around, and they look at the things that I own and say, damn, he never signed up for the fucking get rich quick scheme that they had a meeting at the hotel and all you had to do, or somebody had a little invite at somebody's house and shit and with hors d'oeuvres, and they told you it was. I've seen it all, you guys. I've been invited to it all. I've seen it all. I read it all, and it's all bullshit. I went the hard route. I bought it for $1 and I sold it for $2. I did traditional business and now I'm doing well. Let's continue. Construction on the skyscraper begins. It goes up quickly and soon, instead of the Empire State Building, we have the Leaning Tower of suburbia. The sleepless nights return. As for Mike and me, in our adult years, both of our choices were possible because we were taught to pour a strong financial foundation when we were just kids. Accounting is possibly the most confusing, boring subject in the world, but if you want to be rich long term, it could be the most important subject. For Rich Dad, the question was how to take a boring and confusing subject and teach it to kids. The answer he found was to make it simply by teaching it in pictures. My rich dad poured a strong financial foundation for Mike and me. Since we were just kids, he created a simple way to teach us. For years, he only drew pictures and used few words. Mike and I understood the simple drawings, the jargon, the movement of money, and then in later years, Rich Dad began adding numbers. Today, Mike has on to master much more complex and sophisticated accounting analysis because he had to in order to run his empire. I am not as sophisticated because my empire is much smaller, yet we come from the same simple foundation. Over the following pages, I offer you the same simple line drawings Mike's dad created for us. Through basic, those drawings help guide two little boys in building great sums of wealth on a solid and deep foundation. Rich people acquire assets. Everybody, listen to Shan. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and the middle class, and we already identified that last on Monday, right? When I put the chart up and see where you were. I showed you the income and find out where you were. The rich acquire assets, but poor people and middle class people acquire liabilities that they think are assets. Rule number 1. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. If you want to be rich, my friends, this is all you need to know. It is the rule number 1. It is the only rule. This may sound absurdly simple, but most people have no idea how profound this rule is. Most people struggle financially because they do not know the difference between an asset and a liability. Rich people acquire assets and the poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets, said my rich dad. When Rich Dad explained this to Mike and me, we thought he was just kidding. Here we were, nearly teenagers, and waiting for the secret to getting rich, and this was his answer? It was so simple that we stopped for a long time to think about it. What is an asset? Asked Mike. Don't worry right now, said Rich Dad. Let's just let the idea sink in. If you can comprehend the simplicity, your life will have a plan and be financially easy. It is simple. That's why the idea is missed. You mean all we need to know is what an asset is, acquire them, and we'll be rich? I asked. Rich Dad nodded his head. It is just that simple. If it's that simple, then how come everyone isn't rich? I asked. Rich Dad smiled. Because people do not know the difference between an asset and a liability. I remember asking, how could adults be so misguided? Like, if it's that simple, if it's that important, why would everyone not want to find out? It took Rich Dad only a few minutes to explain what assets and liabilities were. As an adult, I have difficulty explaining it to other adults. The simplicity of the idea escapes them because they have been educated differently. And it's probably going to be confusing to some of you guys too, sidebar. It's probably going to be a little bit confusing to you guys too. See, these adults, or most adults, they were taught by other educated professionals, such as bankers and accountants and real estate agents and financial planners, right? And so on and so forth. The difficulty comes in asking adults to unlearn or become children again. An intelligent adult often feels it is demeaning to pay attention to simplistic definitions. Rich Dad believed in the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Or keep it super simple, depending on how you want, if you want to use the cuss word. I like keep it simple, stupid, right? Or you can just say keep it super simple. So he kept it simple for us, and that made our financial foundation strong. So what causes the confusion? How could something so simple be so screwed up? Why would someone buy an asset that was really a liability? The answer is found in the basic education. We focus on the word literacy, quote unquote literacy, and not financial literacy. What defines something to be an asset or a liability are not in words, you guys. In fact, if you really want to be confused, look up the word asset and liability in the dictionary. I know the definition may sound good to a trained accountant, but for the average person, it makes absolutely no sense. But we adults are often too proud, egos. Can't nobody tell us nothing, right? To admit that something doesn't make sense to us. Most of you guys are like that. Somebody will tell you what's an asset. You'll give a definition and you could be completely wrong. And then you'll make it seem like, well, I know what I'm talking about. Instead of saying, you know what, please teach me. How many of you guys have the please educate me, I'm willing to learn attitude? Sometimes I get in arguments. I got into an argument recently with somebody, sidebar, that we were having a conversation and her phone rang. No, her phone went off. Text messages. I was in mid-sentence while we were talking. She jumped on the text message, claiming it was an important text message. And so while I'm speaking, she just started texting, going real fast. It was had to respond to that text message. It was so important. And I'm sitting here, and I stopped talking. And she was like, oh, yeah, just give me a second. And so when she finished, she said, okay, what were you saying? And I looked at her, I said, now, this is where you insert an apology. This is what I thought. I said, this is where you insert an apology for being, and where you say, I'm sorry for being so rude and disrespectful by cutting you off by addressing that text message while you were in mid-sentence. That's what I said to her. And then she said, but it was important. You did it. And I said, no, I didn't do that. And I explained how I didn't do it. And she was just like, well, all right, I guess. And it was like some passive aggressive, like, okay, well, I mean, okay, cool. And I said, God damn. I said, people are so selfish. Adults can be so self-absorbed that they don't even know how to fucking say, I'm sorry. They don't even know how to say, you're right, I'm wrong. I've mastered it. In fact, I look forward to saying, you're right, I'm wrong. But so many people, women in particular, do not know how to say, my bad. I didn't realize that I did that. If you did that to me, I would be upset. I'm sorry. I'll make sure I don't do that again. That right there, those words that you just heard is something that people cannot seem to say in 2022. I do not know why. I hope none of the soldiers that is on my team over here at Shannon Rawls YouTube channel, I hope none of the SR Army people are like that. And if you are, you got to eradicate that out before I get to know you too soon. Because I'm going to detect it when we have a conversation. I need people that know how to say I'm sorry and is willing to learn new shit, even as an adult. Nobody's above reproach and everybody can learn something new, including myself. But you can't learn nothing if you don't think that you're wrong when you are. It's really a bad thing that's happening a lot these days. All right, let's continue. An asset puts money in my pocket. A liability takes money out of my pocket. It's just that simple. To us young boys, Rich Dad said, what defines an asset are not words, but numbers. And if you can't read the numbers, you can't tell an asset from a hole in the ground. In accounting, Rich Dad would say, it's not the numbers, but what the numbers are telling you. It's just like words. It's just not the words, but the story the words are telling you. If you want to be rich, you've got to read and understand numbers. If I heard that once, I heard it 1,000 times from my rich dad. And I also heard the rich acquire assets and the poor and middle class acquire liabilities. Here's how to tell the difference between an asset and a liability. Most accountants and financial professionals do not agree with this definition, but these simple drawings were the start of a strong financial foundation for two young boys. This is the cash flow pattern of an asset. Take a look at the picture on the screen, everybody. Take a look at the picture on the screen. Income statement, balance sheet, assets add back to the income. Then you have expenses, of course, and we always have liabilities. But notice that the assets put back money in the income, period. This was written for two little, they started at 9. He said he was almost a teen. So we'll say 11-year-old boys. We'll say, no, let's give them 12 years. This is for two 12-year-old boys to understand. If two 12-year-old boys can understand this, then you can too. Think about all the things that you guys currently own. Think about everything that you currently own: your refrigerator, your toilet, your smartphone, your purse, the shoes on your feet, your computer, everything that you own currently. If you're a homeowner, your house, your fucking car, everything. Does it put back money in your bank account? Does it give you income in some form or some way? That is simply an asset. If it takes money out, if it takes money away, if it costs you to own it, costs you to use it, costs you to have it, then it is a liability. Everybody, before we continue, Mr. Awesome re-upped his membership. Everybody, Mr. Awesome re-upped his membership.
Sir, yes, sir.
Throw him a salute.
Sir, yes, sir.
Throw him a salute.
Sir, yes, sir.
Salute to my man, Mr. Awesome, for re-upping. I think that's his 4th month. Hoorah. Hoorah. No, his 5th month. Mr. Awesome celebrates his 5th month of membership today. Good to have you, bro. I'm so glad you're here, man. Thank you for supporting the channel, Mr. Awesome. Thank you for supporting us on the backside too. Mr. Awesome is part of our back chat. He often invokes thought-provoking conversations. Mr. Awesome often invokes thought-provoking conversations for our soldiers that are full-time soldiers or higher. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Everybody throw him a salute.
Sir, yes, sir.
Hoorah. All right, let's continue. Now, the top part of this diagram is an income statement, often called a profit and loss statement. It measures the income and expenses like money in and money out. The lower part of the diagram is your balance sheet. It's called that because it's supposed to balance your assets against your liabilities. Now, many financial novices do not know the relationship between the income statement at the top and the balance sheet at the bottom, and it is vital to understand that relationship. So as I said earlier, my rich dad simply told two young boys that assets put money in your pocket. Nice, simple, and usable. I want everybody that's listening to Shannon right now to think about all the shit you own. Does it put money in your pocket, or does it just take money? Does it cost money? Is there a subscription fee to use it? Does it just did it cost you a whole lot of money and it sits in the closet and doesn't make you any money? Those Christian Louboutins, that Louis Vuitton or Gucci purse, did it cost you a bunch of money, and while it sits in the closet, it just takes money? Or does your Louis Vuitton make you money because you wear it to certain events that's going to give you a certain look that allows you to chase a check? Because the people believe that you are a certain type. Does those red bottoms make you money because when you go to a certain meeting, you're considered a certain way, and so as a result, you get to close deals that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to close? Does that car that you pay out on a monthly basis put you in a position to make more money, or is it just taking money from you every month? Does that car pay its own car note and insurance? Or does it just take from you because you just need to get to where you're going? Does those clothes take from you and doesn't do anything to add money in your bank account? Think about every single thing you own. Is it an asset or a liability? All right, let's continue. This is the cash flow pattern of a liability. Now, this is how a liability looks, everybody. The liabilities end up being expenses, and expenses go out. Expenses go out back into somebody else's pocket, into some other community, into somebody else's wealth, somebody else's family. Your liabilities pay into expenses, and those expenses go out to somebody else. Now that the assets and liabilities have been defined through the pictures, it may be easier to understand my definition in words. An asset, my friends, listen up, everybody, listen up. Listen up. An asset is something that puts money in my pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of my pocket. This is really all you need to know. If you want to be rich, simply spend your life buying assets. That's all you got to do. Buy a bunch of assets. If you want to be poor or middle class, spend your life buying a shitload of liabilities. Illiteracy, both in words and numbers, is the foundation of financial struggle. If people are having difficulties financially, there is something that they don't understand, either in words or numbers. The rich are rich because they are more literate in different areas than people who struggle financially. So if you want to be rich and maintain your wealth, it's important to be financially literate in words as well as numbers. Before I continue, everybody, let's throw a shout out to my RCC is in the house, y'all. RCC is in the house. He blessed the channel with a $10 super chat. He says the concept is right, but the accounting terms are wrong. But he said that. Now listen. RCC hit us with another one. He said I can cam up and better explain the income statement and balance sheet at the end of the trade. No, because he just said that you won't understand that. RCC, didn't you go to school for accounting? If I recall correctly, he literally said, if you would have been listening, that where does it say that? He says, accountants don't like this. Where did I read that? Most accountants and financial, look, right here, I'm highlighting it. This is why you can't cam up. Thank you for the blessings, RCC, but I'm fucking with you. I'm gonna hit you on the back chat and I'm gonna tease you. Most accountants and financial professionals, RCC, who went to school for accounting, I think, do not agree with the definitions. Now, our resident accounting professional wants to cam up and straighten us out. No, we're going to give it just like this. We're going to keep it just like this. Everybody throw your ones up to RCC.
Being number one isn't easy.
Throw your ones up to what currently is my biggest benefactor. My man, my brother, RCC, who makes a lot of money. Oh, by the way, you guys, RCC is rich. He makes a ton of money. He makes a shitload of money. I can't tell you how much money he makes, but he makes a lot of money. But he wants to cam up and explain it to us. No, you know why? Because before we read it, he said that you wouldn't like it. He said most accountants and financial professionals do not agree with these definitions. So no, RCC, we're going to continue to read the book and we're going to learn it this way. And then we could talk about it when we do the after action review later on. Because he's wrong. I bet. Yeah, right. Look, I have a bachelor's in, I knew it. Okay, so I have a bachelor's in accounting and master's in finance. Exactly. And he said that you wouldn't like it. He said you wouldn't like it because that's not right. That's not right. You want to teach us like the poor dad, huh? The poor dad would read the book and go to college and read it like this and so on and so forth. No, fuck that. We're doing it like the kids learn today, RCC. We're doing it like the kids learn. I know RCC's over there fuming right now. He mad. RCC is mad. Nope, Marvy, we can't hear his explanation. Not today, not during this broadcast. We can hear it on the back chat. Well, maybe RCC pull up when we do our after action review. You can explain to us how this book is wrong and you're right. And all the rest of the accountants and and financial professionals like you are right. RCC is fuming right now. Like, fuck, Shannon, he's wrong. Dude, this is basic. I learned this in like freshman class in accounting. He's completely off. That diagram doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Shan, trust me. Nope. I'm fucking with you, RCC. So you won't admit you're wrong? No. See, I didn't say nothing. I'm not saying nothing. I'm saying I'm listening to him instead of you. I'm not right or wrong about either way. I didn't make a declaration. That's sign language, RCC. We don't do sign language. Don't send your sign language. Pay attention. I don't want you to start thinking like women. I didn't say right. I didn't say left. I didn't say up. I didn't say down. I didn't say transfer this over here. I didn't draw no box. I'm simply saying I ain't listening to you. I'm listening to him because this is who we're reading right now. If you would like to challenge him like he said you would, then you could do it later. Hoorah.
Hoo-ah!
RCC mad, y'all. He mad. All right, where do we leave off? Oh, first I got to make RCC the chat sponsor. He's probably still in here from the last time he was a chat sponsor. Hold on, let me see. He is the stream sponsor. He is $20. RCC 72 Detroit. Oh, come in. You can come. You can walk by. You can walk by. You good to go? All right, cool. All right. RCC, mad. All right, here we go. RCC is our stream sponsor. He blessed the channel with $20 worth of super chats, and he's gonna explain it to us later with his financial literate ass, telling us that everything is that we're learning in this book is wrong. And the book literally said, motherfuckers like RCC ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. All right, we gonna learn both. You gonna be our RCC. You gonna be our poor dad. You rich, but you gonna be our poor rich dad. No, you gonna be our poor dad, and then the book is gonna be our rich dad. All right, so you can explain to us how the rich dad is wrong and you the poor dad is right, even though you're rich. All right, let's go. All right, the arrows in the diagrams represent the flow of cash or cash flow. The numbers alone mean little. Just as words out of context means little, it is the story that counts. In the financial reporting, reading numbers is looking for the plot, the story of where the cash is flowing. So the numbers are not sidebar. So the numbers are not that important. It's just a matter of where everything is flowing. All we care about is where the money is flowing. In 80% of most families, damn, that's 8 out of 10. In 8 out of 10 families, the financial story paints a picture of hard work to get ahead. Come on, listen, you guys. How many of you guys had moms and dads, uncles and aunts, grandmas and grandpas that said hard work, hard work, hard work? That's the key. Hard work, hard work, hard work. That's the key to get ahead. If you want to get ahead, work hard, hard, hard. However, this effort is for naught because they spend their lives buying liabilities instead of assets. This is the cash flow pattern of a poor person, everybody. Take a look at this. Income statement. So you work at a job, you get your paycheck, you get your salary. It's part of your bank account. You put it in your checking account or your savings or wherever you have your direct deposit go to, right? And then you pay your expenses, your taxes, you pay your rent, you pay your food. You pay your transportation, like your car and your insurance. You pay your car note, shit like that, right? You buy some clothes. You got to get some drawers. You need a bra, right? You need some panties, ladies. Fellas, you need toothpaste. You need to fucking brush your teeth. You need to, keep some nice teeth. Women like nice teeth, right? You get your hair cut. You do all of that kind of stuff. And that money goes out into somebody else's community, out into somebody else's family, out into somebody else's business. And your balance sheet is blank. You ain't got no assets. You don't reinvest. You don't save shit. This is the cash flow pattern. That's the cash flow pattern of a poor person. You work paycheck to paycheck. Ain't shit left. It's not enough money at the end of your month. That's the poor people. You made a month. You actually live where you need that paycheck. Because once you get all that money and you pay all those bills, the car note and everything, because you don't want to be late on nothing, right? You want to pay your Netflix bill. I get it. You got to pay T-Mobile. You got to get, you got the iPhone and then you put the iPhone on the payment plan and shit, right? And now you're paying an extra $40. What do they charge for extra on a monthly, like $40 or $30 or something like that on top of your bill? So your phone is covered over the next 2 months. I know what y'all do. I know what you do. And so you say, okay, cool. I got the newest, greatest iPhone. So when I take my selfies, people see all 3 circles on my lenses and and you pay your phone bill. You do that, and then at the end of your paycheck, you got a couple dollars until your next paycheck. You got $45 until your next paycheck, and you might get a drink. You might be invited out somewhere, and you be thinking like, "Damn, should I pay for parking?" And fuck, can I afford the Uber? And goddamn, I can't go. You come up with reasons why you can't go to the party because you can't afford it. That's poor people. This is what the middle class looks like, ladies and gentlemen. You go to work, right? You go to work, you get your check, and then your check, you take that money and you skip past all your bills. And then you dump into your liabilities, right? So you go into, the other one was rent, right? Oh, it didn't. Yeah, it had rent on there. So there was no rent. There's no rent on the middle class because they generally own their homes. So on the poor people, they pay rent to somebody else. They pay their taxes, they buy their food, transportation, clothes, but they pay rent to their landlord. There's no fucking equity in that. That's just money out. That's poor people. Then middle class, they turn around and take their money from their job. Now, is this you? Maybe you're a little bit better off than poor. You take your income and then you take your money and go straight and pay your liabilities because they're costing you every month. So now you're paying your mortgage. You're paying your car loans. You're paying your credit card debt and you're paying your student loans. And then what's left over, you turn around and you pay your taxes and you pay your mortgage payment, you pay your car payments and you pay your credit card payments and you pay your school loans. See, middle class people got to take care of those liabilities first. Most poor people don't even have shit. They don't have a pot to piss in. So they don't have assets or liabilities. They just live paycheck to paycheck. Middle class people tend to have maybe a mortgage, and thank God that, the mortgage, what word am I looking for, you guys? That's anyways. What am I looking for? Property value. I don't know why I couldn't think of property value. So middle class tends to own a condo or a townhouse or a house. They got to pay that mortgage note, and thank God for homes going up. And we understand real estate makes people wealthy, but they have to pay those liabilities, right? The car loans, the credit card debt, and the school loans, right? You paid into your education, so you got to pay the government back that school loan. So, and then this is the cash flow of rich people. I know, right, Javar? I said $45 left. This is the cash flow of rich people. This is probably RCC. Hopefully, this is RCC. This is what rich people do. Their assets become part of their income. Their real estate pays them. Their stocks pay them. Their bonds, their notes, their intellectual property, their business, that's a business. Their company pays them and then gives them income in which they can pay their expenses, taxes and mortgage payment, and then their liabilities, mortgage, consumer loans, and credit card debt. All three of these diagrams are obviously oversimplified. Obviously, right? Excuse me. All three of these. Marvin, can you do this right here on the sofa for me? Hold on, you guys. Grab that and take it to the room. No, all that stuff on the sofa. All right. Now, all three of these diagrams are obviously oversimplified, you guys. Everyone has living expenses, the need for food. We all need shelter. We all need clothing. The diagram shows the flow of cash through a poor, a middle class, and a wealthy person's life. It's the cash flow that tells the story of how a person handles their money. The reason I started with the story of the richest men in America is to illustrate the flaw in believing that money will solve all problems. That is why I cringe whenever I hear people ask me how to get rich quicker or where should I start. I often hear, I'm in debt, so I need to make more money. Ooh, I'm in debt, so I need to make more money. But more money will often not solve the problem. In fact, it may compound the problem. Money often makes obvious our tragic human flaws, putting a spotlight on what we don't know. That is why, all too often, a person who comes into a sudden windfall of cash, let's say an inheritance or some sort, or a pay raise or a lottery winnings, soon return to the same financial mess, if not worse than the mess they were in before. Money only accentuates the cash flow pattern running in your head. If your pattern is to spend everything you get, most likely an increase in cash will just result in an increase in spending. Thus, the saying, a fool and his money is one big party. Cash flow tells the story of how a person handles money. Because of these diagrams, we're moving pretty fast, you guys. We only got 15 pages left. Mr. Awesome says, it does feel good seeing those dividend reinvestments emails, though. Oh, look at that, boy. And he's young, you guys. Mr. Awesome is young. He's watching that money from his assets pour back into his income. That cash is flowing into the income side. Shout out to you, Mr. Awesome. Cash flow tells the story of how a person handles their money. I have said many times that we go to school to gain scholastic and professional skills, both of which are important. We learn to make money with our professional skills. Back in the 1960s, when I was in high school, if someone did well academically, people assumed this bright student would go on to be the medical doctor because it was the profession with the promise of the greatest financial reward. Today, doctors face financial challenges I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Insurance companies taking control of the business, managed healthcare, government intervention, and malpractice suits. Today, kids want to be famous athletes. Sidebar. Have you guys ever gone to an elementary? They call them graduations, but you don't graduate in elementary school. You matriculate, right? You don't graduate until you graduate high school and get a diploma. But you matriculate from elementary to middle school. You matriculate from middle school to high school. So if you guys didn't know, I just taught you something. The next time you hear somebody say, I'm graduating elementary school, say, no, you're not. You're not graduating elementary school. You're not graduating junior high or middle school. You're matriculating from here to here. You graduate high school. All right. Just want to give you guys some game. If you want to be snobby like me, I'm a snobby fucking intellect. So when I go to these things, that's what I be doing. Anyways, have you ever gone to a elementary school, not middle school, elementary school? Have you ever gone to an elementary, quote unquote, graduation where they ask the kids, what do you want to be? Have you ever gone to an elementary school graduation and they ask all the kids what you want to be? What do all the black little boys want to be? It never fails. I've been to quite a few, and it never fucking fails. Now, I live in Los Angeles, and the schools that I go to, I'm able to see a lot of white, black, Asian, and Latino or Latin students matriculate from elementary school to middle school. And I hear a lot of different things, and it seems to never fail. When I hear the black boys say what they want to be when they grow up, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I know in your mind, you're already hearing those little boys saying what they want to be. Those little black sixth graders saying what they want to be when they grow up. It never fails. Anyways, let's continue. Where did it go? Today, kids want to be famous athletes, movie stars, rock stars, beauty queens, or CEOs because that is where the fame, money, and prestige are. That is the reason it is so hard to motivate kids in school today. They know what professional success is. They know that professional success is no longer solely linked to academic success as it once was back in the day. Because students leave school without any financial skills, millions of educated people pursue their profession successfully, but later find themselves struggling financially. They work harder, but don't get ahead. What is missing from their education is not how to make money, but how to manage money. It's called financial aptitude. What you do with the money once you make it, how to keep people from taking it from you, and how to keep it longer, and how to make that money work hard for you, most people don't understand. Most people don't understand why they struggle financially because they don't understand cash flow. A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. These people often work harder than they need to because they learn how to work hard, but not how to have their money work hard for them. Uh-oh. BW Chambers. Everybody. Soldiers. BW Chambers, he just upgraded his membership. He already signed up last week, but he said, no. I got to step up. I need the extra perks in the SR Army. We're not the U.S. Army. We're the SR Army. Everybody, salute.
Sir, yes, sir.
BW Chambers.
Sir, yes, sir.
BW Chambers.
Sir, yes, sir.
Thank you, BW Chambers, for joining. I'm not sure what level you upgraded to, but please send an email to soldiers@shannonrawls.com. I just need a quick email saying all you got to do in the subject is say upgraded my membership. That's all you got to write. I don't have a way to automate this. I thought it was working, but I don't think it is. So it's supposed to send you a message telling you what to do. I need you to shoot me an email, soldiers@shannonrawls.com, so we can make sure that you have all the access to the perks that you need. Thank you, BW Chambers. Everybody, one more last salute.
Sir, yes, sir.
Hoorah. Let's continue, guys. How the quest for a financial dream turns into a financial nightmare. Ooh. The classic story of hardworking people has set a pattern. Recently married, the happy, highly educated young couple. Oh, okay. He's about to give us a story. Is this you? Is this you guys? Am I getting ready to describe you? The classic story of hardworking people has set a pattern. Recently married, the happy, highly educated young people move into one of their cramped, rented apartments. Immediately, they realize that they are saving money because they can live cheaply as one. Everybody, shout out to BW Chambers. He said he's caught into another Zoom meeting. I'll catch the replay later. Salute. Everybody, throw your ones up to BW Chambers for not only upgrading his membership, but also blessing the channel with an investment of $20.
Being number one isn't easy.
Hoorah.
Being number one isn't easy.
No problem, BW. Catch the replay, man. Catch the replay. I got about 15 more pages to read and we're done. Catch the replay, bro. So you can make sure that you could say that you read this book without having to actually read this book. Just listen to me. All right. Appreciate you, man. And thank you for joining the Army, man. We welcome you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to shoot me that email. soldiers@shannonrawls.com. Thank you. Let's start over again. How the quest for a financial dream turns into a financial nightmare. The classic story of hardworking people has set a pattern, you guys. Recently married, the happy, highly educated couple moves into one of their cramped little apartments, right? Immediately, they realize that they're saving money because they can live cheaply as one because they're combining their finances. You know, we don't have to pay rent at two different places. We can get on the family plan at Sprint or Verizon Wireless. You know, we don't have to pay two fucking Netflix bills, right? We could just get one Netflix bill, babe, and then we just have two different profiles. I understand. We buy one loaf of bread instead of two. Get it? The problem is the apartment is cramped. They decide to save money to buy their dream home so they can have children. They now have two incomes and they begin to focus on their careers. Their income begins to increase. As their income goes up, their expenses go up as well. Here's the diagram, simple diagram, right? Income goes up, expenses go up. Still no assets or liabilities. I wonder why. Did they upgrade their phones now? Did they upgrade their plan now? Did they get the 4K plan on Netflix now? Did they buy better cars and shit? Did they do that? Are they buying fancy clothes that they otherwise wouldn't have bought before? I can relate. I think I'm speaking to myself right now, my historical past. The number one expense for most people is taxes. Many people think it's income tax, but for the most Americans, their highest tax is Social Security. As an employee, it appears as if the Social Security tax combined with Medicare tax rate is roughly 7.5%, but it's really 15%. Since the employer must match the Social Security amount. In essence, it is money that the employer can't pay you. I know because I have to pay employee tax. I gotta, they take it from you, but I also got to send the state this, so it goes into. Oh my God, anyways. On top of that, you still have to pay income tax on the amount deducted from your wages for Social Security tax. Income you never received because it went directly to Social Security through the withholdings. Going back to the young couple, as a result of their income increasing, they decide to buy the house of their dreams. Once in their house, they have a new tax. It's called property tax. Then they buy the new car. Then they buy that new furniture, and they don't go to IKEA. Right? They go get the fancy shit. Then they get the new appliances, right? They didn't bring the old appliances from the apartment. No, hell no. They're going to get the new stuff. They're getting that Frigidaire. They're going to get Samsung refrigerator with the big screen on the front of the fridge, right? All of a sudden, they wake up and their liabilities column is full of mortgage and credit card debt. Their liabilities now go up. So now their income went up, their expenses went up, and their liabilities went up because they want to live like the Joneses do down the street. They're trapped in the rat race. Pretty soon, a baby comes. A baby comes along and they work harder. The process repeats itself. Higher income causes higher taxes and also called a bracket creep. A credit card comes in the mail. They use it and they max it out. A loan company calls and says, hey, your greatest asset, your home, has appreciated in value. So now the house you bought, hey, the property value went up. Oh, shit. Because their credit is so good, the company offers a bill consolidation loan and tells them that the intelligent thing to do is to clear off all your high interest consumer debt by paying off their credit card. I know I'm speaking to some of you guys right now. I am literally describing your life. So now and besides interest on their home is the tax deduction. Fuck it, they go for it. And they pay off those high interest credit cards. They breathe a sigh of relief. The credit cards are paid off, babe. Yes. They now folded their consumer debt into their home mortgage. Their payments go down because they extended their debt over 30 years. It's the smart thing to do. Their neighbor calls to invite them to go shopping one day. The Memorial Day sale is on. They promise themselves they'll just window shop. Babe, we're not going to buy anything. We're going to just look. But they take the credit card just in case. I know I'm talking. Who am I talking to? Am I talking to you before the billions? Am I describing your life right now? I hope not. I don't think I'm describing yours, but I know I'm describing a lot of people's lives right now. So it's the Memorial Day sale. You guys decide to go. You take your credit card anyway. You run into this young couple all the time. No, I run into this young couple all the time. Their name changed, but their financial dilemma is the same. They come to one of my talks to hear what I have to say. They ask me, can you tell us how to make more money? They don't understand that their trouble is really how they choose to spend their money that they have. It is caused by financial illiteracy and not understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. More money seldom solves someone's money problems, you guys. Intelligence solves problems. There is a saying a friend of mine says over and over to people in debt. If you find you dug yourself into a hole, stop digging. If you find you dug yourself into a hole, stop digging. As a child, my dad often told us that the Japanese were aware of three powers: the power of the sword, the jewel, and the mirror. The sword symbolizes the power of weapons. America has spent trillions and trillions of dollars on weapons, and because of this, it is a powerful military presence in the world. The jewel symbolizes the power of money. There is some degree of truth to the saying, remember the golden rule, he who has the gold makes the rules. The mirror symbolizes the power of self-knowledge. This self-knowledge, according to Japanese legend, was the most treasured of all three. All too often, my friends, the poor and the middle class allow the power of money to control them. By simply getting up and working harder, failing to ask themselves if what they do makes sense. They shoot themselves in the foot as they leave for work every morning. By not fully understanding money, the vast majority of people allow its awesome power to control them. If they use the power of the mirror, they would have asked themselves, does this make sense? All too often, instead of trusting their inner wisdom, the genius inside, most people follow the crowd. They do things because everybody else does them. They conform rather than question. They mindlessly repeat what they have been told. Diversify. Oh my God. Oh, how many times have you guys heard that shit? I talk about this all the time. Diversify. Sidebar, everybody. I'm sorry. Sidebar. Diversify. You got to diversify. You need 7 sources of income. I got a whole class about how that is bullshit. And this is coming from somebody who had 10 sources of income. You got to pay. Oh my God. I can't, because if I talk about that, I'm not going to stop talking. So anyways, let's continue. You've been told diversify. Your home is an asset. Your home is your biggest investment. You get a tax break for going into greater debt. Get a safe job. Don't make mistakes. Don't take any risks. It is said that the fear of public speaking is a fear greater than death for most people. According to psychiatrists, the fear of public speaking is caused by the fear of ostracism, the fear of standing out, the fear of criticism, the fear of ridicule, and the fear of being an outcast. The fear of being different prevents most people from seeking new ways to solve their problems. That is why my educated dad, my poor dad, said the Japanese valued the power of the mirror the most. For it is only when we look into the mirror that we find the truth. Fear is the main reason that people say play it safe. That goes for anything, be it sports, relationships, careers, or money. Let's see. Ooh, Lakeisha banging on y'all. Lakeisha's like, why y'all not a member of the tribe? Why y'all not a member of the tribe? A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. We only got 11 pages left, guys. A person can be highly educated. You got all the degrees. You got your bachelor's, you got your master's, you got your MBA, you got your second master's, you got all the degrees. You went to school, you passed all the tests. Professionally successful. You got the job. You got the corner office. You don't have a cubicle out in the main bay. You got a private office with a phone. You got an extension. You got an extension a direct extension to your phone. You even have a desk with a reception chair so somebody can come in and sit and have a seat with you and talk to you at your job, right? You're professionally successful and you're fucking financially illiterate. And you're financially illiterate. It is the same fear, the fear of ostracism that causes people to conform to and not question commonly accepted opinions or popular trends. Your home is an asset. Get a bill consolidation loan and get out of debt. Work harder. It is a promotion. Someday I'll be vice president. Save money. When I get a raise, I'll buy us a bigger house. Mutual funds are safe. Many financial problems are caused by trying to keep up with the Joneses, you guys. I did not mention that just a minute ago on the sidebar. Many financial problems are caused by trying to keep up with the Joneses. Occasionally, we all need to look in the mirror and be true to our inner wisdom rather than our fears. By the time Mike and I were 16 years old, we began to have problems in school. We were not bad kids. We just began to separate from the crowd. We worked for Mike's dad after school and on weekends. Mike and I often spent hours after work just sitting at a table with his dad while he held meetings with his bankers, attorneys, accountants, brokers, investors, managers, employees. Here was a man who had left school at 13 years old, you guys, who was now directing, instructing, ordering, and asking questions of educated people. They came at his beck and call and cringed when he didn't approve of them. Hold on one second. Marvy, can you do me a favor? I'm starving.
You want me to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's 2 scoops of the protein powder. And you can use water or the milk in there, but whatever you want to do. Thank you, love. Here was a man who had not gone along with the crowd. He was a man who did his own thinking and detested the words, we have to do it this way because that's the way that everybody does it. He detested those words. He also hated the words can't. Ooh. That's me. Fathers, men, I'm talking to the men right now. Sidebar. Whenever you hear your children say, I can't, stop right there. My son, Law, and soon my 3-year-old, when he starts speaking fluently, my son, Maverick, we don't use can't. There's no such thing as can't. We figure out everything. He comes here. And he'll say, I can't do something. I say, no. We left that at the front door, son. In this house, we can do everything. Can't is illegal in this house. We don't use can't. We can do everything. And if we need to figure out a different way to learn it, then that's what we're going to do. But we don't use can't. Just want to throw that out there. Fathers, I implore to you. Grandfathers, I implore to you, to your sons and grandsons. Daughters as well, but sons more importantly, do not allow the word can't. Remove that from the vocabulary of every young person that you know, 30 and younger, period. All right, let's continue. If you wanted him to do something, just say, I don't think you can do it. Mike and I learned more sitting in on his meetings than we did in all our years of school, college included. Mike's dad was not book smart, but he was financially educated and successful as a result. He told us over and over again, an intelligent person hires people who are more intelligent than he is. So Mike and I had the benefit of spending hours listening to and learning from intelligent people. Another quick sidebar. One of my problems and this is going to be one of my, I forget the name of the series that I got so many damn shows. It's not Be a Better Man, Be a Better Woman, but the level up from that is for the it's for the airborne soldiers and higher, where I teach higher level classes of entrepreneurship. There is a course, or more, not a course per se, but more of a show that I'm going to explain to people about the power of hiring out. I've been in business since 1999. Rawls Enterprises was formed. I was doing business before then, but I officially became a company and registered with this and did all of that kind of stuff in June of 1999. So if we're in 2022 now, I've been in business for 23 years. For the better part of 18 years, I did most of everything myself. It wasn't until I found an awesome team that I currently have now, until I found and started delegating and started teaching them how to do stuff, and then they learn how to do stuff better than I originally showed them how to do it, that I realized that I was doing it wrong for the fucking first 18 damn years. Actually, not that long, but 15 years. Hire people that are smart. Surround yourself with people that know how to do shit better than you, that can research things better than you can, and be able to concede to their intelligence. Oprah Winfrey once said, "The moment I learn how to do your job better than you, you're fired." Oprah Winfrey once told her team over at not the OWN network, at the Harpo network, when she was in Chicago before she moved to LA, "The moment that I learn how to do your job better than you, you're fired." That's powerful, because you want to make sure that everybody around you knows how to do what they're supposed to do better than you do. All right. Anyways, let's jump back into it. That was just a quick sidebar for everybody. Where we at? But because of this, Mike and I couldn't go along with the standard dogma our teachers preached, and that caused problems. Whenever my teacher would say stuff like, "If you don't get good grades, you won't do well in the real world," Mike and I just raised our eyebrows, right? When we were told to follow set procedures and not deviate from the rules, we could see how school discouraged creativity. We started to understand why our rich dad told us that schools were designed to produce good employees instead of employers. Occasionally, Mike and I would ask our teachers how what we studied was applicable in the real world, or why we never studied money or how it worked. To the latter question, we often got the answer that money was not important, that if we excelled in our education, the money would follow. The more we knew about the power of money, the more distant we grew from the teachers and our classmates. We just didn't fuck with them. Oh, go ahead, fire it up. My highly educated dad never pressured me about my grades, but we did begin to argue about money. Now remember, his highly educated dad is his poor dad. So let me read that again. My poor dad never pressured me about my grades, but we did begin to argue about money. By the time I was 16, I probably had a far better foundation with money than both my actual parents. I can keep books. I listen to tax accountants, corporate attorneys, bankers, real estate brokers, investors, and so forth. And I listen to the Rich People Read podcast by Shannon Rawls, because that's what we talk about over there. Relationships and entrepreneurship, and making sure we are financially literate and getting to the money. And also having great relationships with our husbands, wives, boyfriends, and girlfriends. I had to throw that shameless plug in there. By contrast, my dad talked to other teachers. One day, my dad told me, my real dad, my poor dad, told me that our house was his greatest investment. A not too pleasant argument took place when I showed him why I thought a house was not a good investment. Here's your balance sheet. Rich dad, liabilities is under the home section. The balance sheet of my poor dad, the house is under the assets section. Now, the above diagram, and I know this is going to shake up some of you guys that believe you'll get a house because that's a great investment and whatnot. So let's just listen. Let's listen, right? The above diagram illustrates the difference in perception between my rich dad and my poor dad when it came to their house, their real estate, their home that they lived in. One dad thought his house was an asset. The other dad thought his house was a liability. I remember when I drew the following diagram for my poor dad, showing him the direction of cash flow. I also showed him the ancillary expenses that went along with owning the home. A bigger home meant bigger expenses, and the cash flow kept going out through the expense column. And here's the diagram that he drew for him. Today, people will still challenge me on the idea of a house not being an asset. Thank you, love. Oh, my God. Give me a quick second, you guys. This got the spinach in it? I some breakfast, y'all. I gotta log it in my Fitness Pal. Okay, let's continue. That's breakfast. Breakfast shakes. Sidebar. So we do fitness every morning at 6 o'clock on this channel live. 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday through Sunday. And then we also have a group called the Daily Burn Accountability Group, where we talk about our food and what we, and we basically, I monitor what you eat every day. You monitor what I eat. And if you guys become friends with each other, you can monitor what each other eats. And then we have a back chat that we talk about the food that we eat. You guys should join. You don't have to work out with us in the morning, but if you eat like shit, come on. If you eat like shit, you right now you can't wait to get to McDonald's for lunch. Join the group, because weight loss and getting your body in shape and being physically fit and looking good when you turn 49 like me happens in the kitchen. You shape and tone your body in the gym. You lose your weight in the kitchen. And so now I'm doing, instead of breakfast, like the traditional eggs and bacon and toast and shit and all that kind of crap, I'm knocking out smoothies every morning. And I don't know what's in this, but it's fucking amazing. It tastes amazing. I don't know what she just made just now, but it's good as fuck. And it's healthy. So, and I'm going to log this in my Fitness Pal. So if you guys want to join that, go to my most recent video that I just posted from the Daily Burn, and you'll see that way to join it in the description to join our group. You're welcome. It's free and it's open to the public. If you care about what you eat every day, this is like a commercial. It's a commercial break, y'all. If you care about what you eat every day and you want help in making sure you do it, join the Daily Burn Accountability Group. We'd love to have you guys. Let's continue. Today, people still challenge me on the idea of a house not being an asset. I know that for many people, it is their dream as well as their largest investment. And owning your own home is better than nothing. I simply offer an alternative way of looking at this popular dogma. If my wife and I were to buy a bigger, flashier house, we realize it wouldn't be an asset. It would be a liability, since it would take money out of our pocket. So here's the argument that I put forth. I really don't expect most people to agree with it, because your home is an emotional thing. And when it comes to money, high emotions tend to lower financial intelligence. I know from personal experience that money has a way of making every decision emotional, right? So check this out. When it comes to houses, most people work all their lives paying for a home they never own. In other words, most people buy a new house every few years, each time incurring a new 30-year loan to pay off the previous one. Even though people receive a tax deduction for interest on mortgage payments, they pay for all their other expenses with after-tax dollars, even after they pay off the mortgage. My wife's parents were shocked when the property tax on their home increased to $1,000 a month. This was after they had retired. So the increase put a strain on their retirement budget, and they felt forced to move. Houses do not always go up in value. I have friends who owe $1 million for a home that today would sell for far less. The greatest losses of all are those from missed opportunities. If all your money is tied up in your house, you may be forced to work harder because your money continues blowing out of the expense column instead of adding to the asset column. The classic middle class cash flow pattern. If a young couple would put more money into the asset column early on, their later years would be easier. Their assets would have grown and would be available to help cover the expenses. All too often, a house only serves as a vehicle for incurring a home equity loan to pay for mounting expenses. You can get a home, you can get a loan on the equity in your house. That's it. In summary, the end result in making a decision to own a home that is too expensive in lieu of starting an investment portfolio impacts an individual in at least the following 3 ways. Number 1, you lose time, you guys, during which other assets could have grown in value. You lose an additional capital. You lose additional capital, which could have been invested instead of paying off a high maintenance expense related directly to the home. So usually like a down payment or your mortgage monthly payments, right? Loss of education. Too often people count their house and savings and retirement plans as they all have in their asset column because they have no money to invest. They simply don't invest. You ain't got no money left over. I mean, you got the house, but you ain't got no money left over. This costs them the investment experience. You don't get an opportunity to even learn how to invest because you're too busy paying the fucking bills. Most people never become what the investment world will call a sophisticated investor. And the best investments are usually first sold to sophisticated investors who then turn around and sell them to the people playing it safe. I am not saying don't buy a house, you guys. What I'm saying is that you should understand the difference between an asset and a liability. When I want a bigger home, I first buy assets that will generate the cash flow to pay for that bigger home. Did you hear that? That was a bar. Did you hear that? That was a bar. When I want a bigger house, I first buy assets that will generate the cash flow to pay for the house. Buy the assets that will generate the money to pay for the bigger house. Don't just take the money that you got and buy the bigger house. My educated dad, my poor dad, personal financial statement best demonstrates the life of someone caught in the rat race. His expenses match his income, never allowing him enough left over to invest in anything like an asset. As a result, his liabilities are larger than his assets. The following diagram on the left shows my poor dad's income statement. It's worth 1,000 words. It shows that his income and expenses are equal while his liabilities are larger than his actual assets. My rich dad's personal financial statement on the right reflects the results of a life dedicated to investing and minimizing liabilities. Let's take a look. The poor dad's financial statement: income, expenses, assets, liabilities. The rich dad's income, expenses, assets, liabilities. All right. Why the rich get richer? What RCC over here talking about? He should not be using these accounting terms. He should be. It's always somebody that want to challenge a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. Stop challenging multimillionaires. Just listen. RCC. It's always somebody, oh, he should have used the term, the terms he's using, blah, blah. Hush. Until you can buy him out, I don't want to hear nothing else. Until you got a best-selling book that was sold 20 fucking years ago and you are worth $500 million, hush. Open your mind. Listen. Listen to an alternative, RCC. Listen to an alternative. See, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. People are so headstrong that they can't learn nothing new. I just gave an example of that and then threw out a sidebar about the girl that I said when I told her that she should apologize. RCC over here blowing up the goddamn chat, talking about what this multi, probably a billionaire. I don't know how much this dude is worth. Alexa, what is Robert Kiyosaki worth? He's worth $100 million. So the book, until you worth $100 million, hush, RCC, open your mind to an alternative possibility and then weigh your options. Don't just be over here bashing. You're doing exactly what motherfuckers is telling people don't do. Stop it. Stop it. No, you ain't camming up. You ain't camming up. You ain't gonna be able to out-argue me. You know that already. So what you gonna do? Come up here and think you're gonna be able to out-talk me? That's not gonna happen. So just stay right in the chat where you safe and open your brain. I don't give a fuck about terms. I don't care about your accounting terms. You bringing that educate, and I'm educated. I got a degree, but don't bring to me what Cal State Long Beach taught me. Unlearn that shit, because he said earlier on in this chapter, the problem with niggas like you, they don't want to unlearn nothing and learn a different way. It's the dogma. Stop it, RCC. Stop it. I'm gonna teach you one way or the other, you hard-headed ass nigga. He just, by the way, everybody, this is my brother. I'm arguing with my brother. We both 49 years old, and he the hard-headed one. I'm not. Anyways, let's continue. I don't care about his terms being wrong. Hush. Why the rich get richer. Let's teach everybody why we get richer, RCC. Stop talking about terms. You confusing everybody. We gotta teach. Remember he said we gotta tell people to stop being adults and take them back to children. So let's teach everybody why we keep getting richer. Let's do that. All right. A review of my rich dad's financial statement shows the rich get richer. The asset column generates more than enough income to cover expenses, with the balance reinvested into the asset column. The asset column continues to grow, and therefore the income it produces grows with it. The result is that the rich get richer. And then he drew another diagram. Then we're going to be done with the book in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Income goes up, expenses go down. The balance sheet, the assets go up, the liabilities go down. Why the middle class struggle? The middle class finds itself in a constant state of financial struggle. Their primary income is through their salary. Is this you guys? I'm not talking to entrepreneurs. This is so good. Damn. The primary income of the middle class is through their paycheck. As their wages increase, so do your taxes. Their expenses tend to increase in proportion to their salary increase. Hence the phrase, the rat race. They treat their home as their primary asset instead of investing in income producing assets. Instead of investing into income producing assets. And then the income goes up, expenses go up, and the liabilities go up. That's the diagram. This pattern of treating your home as an investment and the philosophy that a pay raise means you can buy a larger house or spend more money on bullshit is the foundation of today's debt-ridden society. It's the foundation of the debt-ridden society. You walk outside your house, you look down the street to the left, down the street to the right. Everybody in all those houses next door to you is in debt. You walk out of your apartment building. You look down the hall. You look down the hall to the left. You look down the hall to the right. All your apartment neighbors, despite what car you see them driving, despite what bikes they have, despite you catching them downstairs in the elevator or at the mailbox, is in debt. All right? It is the foundation of today's debt-ridden society. Increased spending throws families into greater debt and into more financial uncertainty, even though they may be advancing in their jobs and receiving raises on a regular basis. This is high-risk living caused by weak financial education. The massive loss of jobs in recent times proves how shaky the middle class really is financially. Company pension plans are being replaced by 401k plans. They don't do pensions no more, right? My father had a pension. My mom has a pension. How many of y'all got a pension? They ain't giving out pensions no more. Ain't no more retirement checks. You can get a 401k. You get an IRA. You can get an IRA. But they ain't giving you no damn retirement plan. They saying get a 401k, pay into it, we'll match. Right? Come on, don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Social Security is obviously in trouble and can't be relied upon as a source for retirement anymore. Panic has set in for the middle class. Today, mutual funds are popular because they supposedly represent safety. And remember, this book was written in 1997. We'll just say year 2000. Today, mutual funds are popular because they supposedly represent safety. Average mutual fund buyers are too busy working to pay taxes and mortgages. save for their children's college, and pay off credit cards. They do not have time to study investing, so they rely on the expertise of the manager of a mutual fund. Also, because the mutual fund includes many different types of investments, they feel their money is safer because it's diversified. This educated middle class subscribes to the dogma put out by mutual fund brokers and financial planners. Play it safe, avoid risk. The real tragedy is that the lack of early financial education is what creates the risk faced by average middle class people. The reason they have to play it safe is because their financial positions are tenuous at best. Their balance sheets are not balanced, you guys. Instead, they are loaded with liabilities and have no real assets that generate income. Typically, their only source of income is their paycheck. Their livelihood becomes entirely dependent on their employer. So when genuine deals of a lifetime come along, these people can't take advantage of it because they're too busy working hard or taxed to the max, and they're loaded with debt. As I said at the start of this section, the most important rule is to know the difference between an asset and a liability. Once you understand the difference, concentrate your efforts on buying income-generating assets. That's the best way to get started on a path to becoming rich, you guys. Keep doing that, and your asset column will grow. Keep liabilities and expenses down so more money is available to continue pouring into the asset column. Soon, the asset base will be so deep that you can afford to look at more speculative investments. Investments that may have returns of 100% to infinity. $5,000 investments. Those are micro investments, you guys. $5,000 investments that soon turn into $1 million or more. Investments that the middle class calls, oh, that's too risky. The investment is not only risky for the financially illiterate. If you do what the masses do, you get the following photo. Your income, you work for the company, you get a salary. Expenses, you work for the government, you get taxed. Balance sheet, assets, none. Liabilities, you work for the bank, you work for the bank because you got to pay that mortgage. You work for the government because you got to pay those taxes, and you work for the company just to get the money. As an employee who is also a homeowner, your working efforts are generally as follows. Number one, you work for the company. Employees make their business owner or the shareholders rich, not themselves. Your effort and success will help provide for the owner's success and retirement. Number two, you work for the government, you guys, believe it or not. The government takes its share from your paycheck before you even see it. Give me that. Uncle Sam's like, give me that. Go to work, son. Give me that money on Friday. In fact, I took my money Thursday night when you was asleep. You got it. You got what's left on Friday. By working harder, you simply increase the amount of money that you get taxed by the government. Most people work from January to May just for the government. Most people work from January to May just for the government. None of that money is yours. And then after May, that's you. Jeez, that's a weird way of looking at it, but that's a hard hitting. Number three, you work for the bank. After your taxes are taken out by the government, your next largest expense is usually your mortgage or your credit card debt. Last 2 pages, you guys. The problem with simply working harder is that each of these 3 levels takes a greater share of your increased efforts. You need to learn how to have your increased efforts benefit you and your family directly. Once you have decided to concentrate on minding your own business, focusing your efforts on acquiring assets instead of a bigger paycheck, how do you set your goals? Most people must keep their job and rely on their wages to fund their acquisition of assets. As their assets grow, how do they measure the extent of their success? When does someone know that they are rich, that they have wealth? As well as having my own definitions for assets and liabilities, I also have my own definition for wealth. Actually, I borrowed it from a man named R. Buckminster named R. Buckminster Fuller. Some call him a quack, and others call him a genius. Years ago, this man got architects buzzing because he applied for a patent for something called a geodesic dome. But in the application, Fuller also said something about wealth. It was pretty confusing at first, but after reading it, it began to make some sense. He said, wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or if I stopped working today, how long could I survive? Unlike net worth, the difference between your assets and liabilities, which is often filled with a person's expensive junk and opinions of what things are worth, this definition creates the possibility for developing a truly accurate measurement. I could now measure and know where I was in terms of my goal to become financially independent. Sidebar, as I was reading that last paragraph, I was thinking about that quote that the man said. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days. Or if I stop working today, how long could I survive? Question for everybody. And this is just, I want you to answer it personally in your head. If you stop making money today, if you stopped working today, no more money was coming to you. No direct deposit, no PPP loans, no unemployment checks, no nothing. You do not have the ability to make any more money. All you got is what you have now, today. What's today's date? March 9th, 2022. How long would you survive? How long would you survive? And no, you can't you can't go live with your mama, and no, you can't eat your granddad's cooking. No, you gotta take care of yourself. No, you can't go live with your aunt and shit. No, you stay right where you at. Rent's due. Cell phone bill is due. Your internet, your high-speed internet to the cable company, that's due. You hungry, you gotta eat. But you don't make any more money today. No more money's coming to your bank account, period. And you don't get to take loans and none of that shit. And you can't use a credit card. How long will you survive? If you can't make it past this month, you need to subscribe to my channel. That's all the fuck we talking about over here. All right? Just had that in my mind. Had that in my mind. Let's continue. What happened? What Cam said? Oh, what up, Cam? Cam's in the house. Cam just went shopping, you guys. Nigga just went and dropped a bag at Bars Raw. Did I put your business out there, Cam? I ain't telling him what you bought, and I ain't telling him how much you spent. But he supported the channel because he went shopping. Shout out to my man Cam. He said he's in his feelings, but it's all right, brother. I don't know who you're talking to. Maybe he's talking to me. I ain't in my feelings. I am in my feelings. Because I want y'all to know, I want to know how far you guys can survive if you had no more money coming in based on what you have now. If you can't make it to, if you're going to be homeless next month and starving, let's continue. Although net worth often includes non-cash producing assets like stuff you bought that now sits in your garage, wealth measures how much money your money is making and therefore your financial survivability. Wealth is the measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared with the expense column. Let's use an example. Let's say I have a cash flow from my asset column of $1,000 a month. The amount of my assets are making me automatically. I ain't doing much. It's making me is $1,000 a month. And I have a monthly expense of $2,000. What is my wealth? Let's go back to Buckminster's Fuller definition. Using his definition, how many days forward can I survive? Assuming a 30-day month, I have enough cash flow for half a month. for half a month. Everybody, throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Miss MC Recovery Wellness and Relapse Show. MC Recovery Wellness and Relapse Show just bless the channel with a $10 super chat. All my soldiers, please. When people come over here and they didn't donate. They bless this channel with an investment. We throw our ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Because it's not easy to donate to somebody on YouTube. What does he say? I just made my green and fruit smoothie. I still pop lock in Los Angeles with the OGs and Uncle Jam's. They don't know nothing about Uncle Jam's Army. Come on, MC. They don't know nothing about. Did you used to? Okay, this is how I know you're an OG. Did you used to steal the posters off the light poles, off the telephone poles, and then had a collection of them in your bedroom? Remember them solid color posters? Uncle Jam's Army, and we'd go rip them bitches off the wall and put them in our rooms before the concert. Come on, MC. Shout out to MC. Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
I don't know. Was that anywhere else other than Los Angeles? Back in the 80s, did you guys used to do posters in Chicago and posters in Detroit and Atlanta and Texas and Florida? In LA, the way we had posters littered all through the city, and they go up every week. And then what we do, the people would rip them down, and then we put them suckers in our bedrooms. Shout out to MC Recovery Wellness and Relapse Show. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate your investment in this channel. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you're subscribed to the channel, and maybe one day you'll become a member of the SR Army. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. All right, guys, let's continue. So if we go back to Buckminster's definition, how many days forward could you survive, assuming that there's a 30-day month? I have enough cash flow for just half a month. If your assets only make you $1,000 a month, automatically, because remember, you're not working, you guys. You don't got a paycheck. You sitting on your ass all month, and your assets should be generating you money. If it only makes you $1,000, but your expenses are $2,000, you only got a half a month of survivability. Some of you guys are thinking right now, I don't have no fucking assets. Some of you guys are saying, I don't have nothing that makes me money. Oh my God. I don't have anything that generates me $5. I have to work. That's the only source of my income. Poor and middle class. Poor and middle class. When I achieve $2,000 a month cash flow from my assets, then I will be wealthy. So while I'm not rich yet, I am wealthy. You get the difference between rich and wealthy? Wealthy is, according to Buckminster's definition, we're reading this book, your assets need to cover your liabilities with you doing nothing. This is all you do all month long. You watch Netflix all month long. All you do is watch Netflix, eat, and have sex. All you do is watch TV, eat, and have sex. Maybe go for a job. That's all you do. Because your assets is putting money into your Bank of America checking account to cover your bills automatically. It's on autopilot, you guys. If you don't have assets that do that, do you have assets that pay some of it? If you have assets that don't pay any of it, you don't have any assets at all, what are you doing? What are you doing? That is what he defines wealthy at, not rich, but wealthy. Wealthy is when your assets are covering your bills. And 100% of them. All right. Let's continue. So while I'm not rich, I am wealthy. I now have income generated from assets each month that fully cover my monthly expenses. If I want to increase my expenses, I must first increase my cash flow to maintain this level of wealth. Also note that it is at this point that I am no longer dependent on my wages. It is at this point that I'm no longer dependent on my wages. Uh-oh, shout RCC is See, that's why I keep telling y'all guys that RCC is rich. I'm arguing with my rich friends. Rich RCC says rich means you have money. Wealthy means your money makes money. Where's my button? In simple terms, baby. Pay attention to RCC in simple terms. You're rich when you have money. You're wealthy when your money makes money. You're wealthy when your money makes money. And you're certainly wealthy when your money covers all your expenses. Shout out to my man RCC. We appreciate that. RCC, I'm sorry, but I got to update your stream sponsor from 20 to 30 because you added another 10 spot on it, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Everybody throw your ones up to RCC.
Being number one isn't easy.
He's always, I know y'all see him always investing. And then he works out with us in the morning. He worked out with us this morning. He worked out with us yesterday morning. Then he comes in here. The other day, he gave me $200. Yesterday, he gave me $200. Today, he's put $10 on it 3 times. And then I'm in here arguing with him about fucking turn. And then I'm here arguing with him. But that's what men do. That's how we do. That's what, when you become a man of a certain age, you know, he's born in 72 like me. That's what we do. Me and RCC, if we was to hang out, he's in Detroit, I'm in Los Angeles. But if me and him was to hang out, we probably tear the town up. I can already see it now. Anyways, that's the difference, you guys. Mr. Awesome says, then I'm broke wealthy then. That's what's up. Broke wealthy is better than no wealthy because most people ain't wealthy at all. You know, most people ain't wealthy at all. I wonder why they call it rich and wealth. It should be wealthy and rich because the first thing you want to become is wealthy. If we're going to go by these terms, if we're going to go by RCC 72 Detroit's terms, if we're going to go by Buckminster's terms, you want to be wealthy first, then get rich. But we always say the rich and wealthy. Maybe we should be saying the wealthy and rich because the wealthy is where their money is making money to cover their bills. Rich is them just stacking more money. Hoorah. Let's continue. I have focused on and been successful in building an asset column. I have been focused on building an asset column. Ladies and gentlemen, all 28 of you in here listening to me, you need to focus on building an asset column. Not a liability, not something that's taking money from you, not the fucking shoes, not the Gucci belt, not the goddamn fucking Prada t-shirts, not a Balmain t-shirt, not goddamn the upgrade to the next, not the convertible car that you don't need, not the bullshit that you need. You need to focus on building an asset column that has made you financially independent, that will make you financially independent, where your paycheck don't matter. You need assets that allow you to go to work and say, fuck you. Sidebar. I want everybody that's listening to me to one day get to the point that they have assets that they can have fuck you money. You understand? If I quit my job today, I would be able to cover my monthly expenses with the cash flow from my assets. My next goal would be to have the excess cash flow from my assets reinvested into my asset column. The more money that goes into my asset column, the more my asset column grows. The more my assets grow, the more my cash flow grows. And as long as I keep my expenses less than the cash flow from these assets, I grow richer with more and more income from the sources other than my physical labor. Digging ditches, clocking in at your job. Go to parking in the employee parking lot. Come on, how many of y'all park in the employee parking lot? How many of you guys park in the employee parking lot and going through the employee entrance and you punch in your code so you can clock in, or you scan your you scan your fucking ID badge, or maybe you got the old school time clock and you punch. How many of y'all you want to get to the point where you have enough assets that you can say fuck you? as this reinvestment process continues, I am well on my way to becoming rich. Just remember this simple observation, everybody. Everybody, listen. The rich, they buy assets. The poor only have expenses. And the middle class, they buy liabilities that they think are assets. So how do I start minding my own business? What is the answer? Listen to the founder of McDonald's in the next chapter. We're going to talk about the next chapter later. Everybody, we're done for the day. How y'all feeling? Damn, Friday's only 5 pages max? Friday's 5 pages, you guys, and we're done. So Friday, we're going to be done in damn 10 minutes. Today was 25 pages. Monday was 22 pages. Friday is 5. So yeah, there's no excuse for you guys not to pull up. There's no excuse for you guys to not pull up. We're done. I hope I'm teaching you guys some. I hope my channel is of some value. I'm only here. I got a whole career. I'm a fashion designer. I'm supposed to be downtown at my office, but I'm here talking to you guys. I hope that I am of some value to you guys. I hope these shows that I record is of some value to each and every one of you guys. I hope you're learning something from what I'm doing. If I am, I'm happy to be here. I'll continue to be here. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. MC says they park at the employee parking lot, but he's working from home. I appreciate you guys. We're done for the day. No, I ain't bringing you up, RCC. We're gonna wait to the you gotta wait. I ain't pulling you up. I know you want to come up. I ain't pulling you up. Today I'm gonna be teaching my assistant how to produce shows. I gotta jump on that. I only got it for a couple more hours, so I gotta teach her how to produce some shows so we can get started on High Value Shan. And check this out. I know you want to come up, RCC. Stephen want to listen to you too. Snuggles, you're a fashion designer and I'm a bear. You are a bear. You got to be a bear. If it's dependent upon me being a fashion designer, then you damn sure a bear. What kind? Grizzly, brown, black, polar, koala. What up? Thomas is in the house. What up, man? We're done, you guys. Listen, I need everybody to let me go. Did the contest work? The contest didn't work today, you guys. I don't know why. I'll get on that later. I'll figure it out later. I'll ask them, like, why my shit ain't working? It should have worked, but it didn't. Listen, everybody, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. Please join the army. Shout out to the people that joined the army today. We have discussions over at sidebar.shannonrawls.com. That's going to lead you straight to our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group where we have discussions. You guys are welcome. Everybody's welcome. It's open to the public. All you got to do is just go to your browser, Safari or Chrome, and type sidebar.shannonrawls.com. I'll be happy to accept your interest into our side. We have just various. In fact, RCC might go over there and start talking about what he wanted to come up and talk about today. That's what the sidebar is all about. RCC may go over there and make a post. Shout out to my man RCC. my man Mr. Awesome. Everybody.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up to Mr. Awesome. He says, salute, Shan. I want a piece of your time regarding the military. Great stream as usual. Everybody throw your ones up to my man.
Being number one isn't easy.
On the $5 investment. Thomas Thompson right behind him. Thomas don't even have nothing to say. Thomas is just like, bro, here, take this 10 spot, Shan. He didn't have nothing to say. Thomas is like, Shan, let me just put 10 on it, bro. I appreciate you, Thomas Thompson. I appreciate you, Tom. Thank you so much, man, for your blessing, bro. Thank you guys for investing in the show. My name is Mr. Shannon. Thank you for reading along with us, you guys. I appreciate you. Remember, reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. Tune in next time to Rich People Read, and you, my friends, are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Mío en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Quiero ver. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Me haces falta, bebé. Dime qué tengo que hacer pa' tenerte de una vez, pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón. Te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón. Solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Mira, somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso me antojo. Chica, necesito mis anteojos. Quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada.
Turn it up, 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 turn